The people living throughout Cambodia today, however, are the people who have lived here since the 5th millennium BC. The ancient kingdom of Funan ruled the largest territory, and during that period, Funan culture was strongly influenced by Hinduism, leading to long-standing socio-economic activities with each other along the coastal trading partners of Western Indochina. Detailed records of a political structure on the territory of present-day Cambodia first appear in the Chinese chronicle, known as Funan, a political entity located in the southernmost part of the Indochina peninsula from the 1st to the 6th century. Near the 6th century, a civilization known as Chenla in Chinese chronicles took over from Funan and laid a solid foundation. Then it ruled a large area that always included territory within the Indochina peninsula. And it is said to be a state with more than one center of power. The Khmer Empire dates back to the 9th to 13th centuries, when large temples were erected, the most notable being Angkor Wat. The Khmer Empire was established near the beginning of the 9th century. The content refers directly to the rites of atonement and divine blessings, a ceremony held to confirm the political legitimacy of the founders of this empire, King Jayavarman III, who performed on the summit of Mount Kulin, Mahendrabhavat, in AD 802. The succession of many powerful kings also continued the Devaraja doctrine, succeeding from ancient Khmer civilization until the 11th century. A new dynasty, descended from a dynasty, embraced Buddhism but did not firmly establish itself as the religion of the dynasty, and as a result of the breakup of the central government. This new chronicle ended in the 14th century. Great achievements in administration, agriculture, architecture, irrigation, transportation, planning, urbanization and the arts are the hallmarks of the civilizations that innovated and progressed in the complex structures of those dynasties and became the foundation of Asia's cultural heritage. Southeast. The transition period of about 100 years later marked the beginning of the Dark Ages or Middle Ages in Cambodian history in the middle of the 15th century. Although Hinduism was once widespread, it was later relocated, and many of the monuments in the ancient capital remain an important national soul center. At the same time, since the middle of the 15th century, the Khmer people have been constantly migrating to the east, and especially for short periods of time, they have settled at the confluence of the Mekong and Tonle Sap rivers at Choktamuk, Longvek, and Odong. Maritime trade was the foundation of the 16th century, a time of great prosperity. But the trade also caused many foreigners, Malays, Khams, Muslims, adventurers, and European Christian missionaries to interfere and influence the civil service. This uncertainty has strengthened the economy in part, while the culture of interference and the royal family are still concentrating on another point, continuing the rise of the Longvek period. Near the 15th century, the ancient Khmer neighbors of the Mon in the west and the Cham in the east were gradually moved aside or replaced by the rising Siamese, Thai and Annam, Vietnamese. Both powers understood and strictly followed royal orders to control the lower Mekong basin, a strategic point in governing the whole of Indochina. As the Khmer kingdom weakened, so did the warlords in Ayutthaya, later in Bangkok, and in Phai. The attacks and conquests of the Khmer palaces left the later kings without a solid foundation of power for their own marriage and the right to ascend the throne legally. Interventions in the monarchy and the policy of interracial marriage took place, causing damage to the royal reputation. Odong was built in 1601 as the last palace of the Middle Ages. Spanish and Portuguese missionaries have been visiting the country since the 16th century, and Cambodia became a French protectorate in the 19th century and will be part of French Indochina.